Hello and welcome back, everyone. Andy Bryan here again from the Soul Pathway. And today, within this video, I'm going to be providing you with a collective Soul Pathway reading for April 2023. As always, we are going to be looking at and exploring the energies of the month ahead. Now, what's beautiful is that we have just stepped into spring. So the energy is changing and shifting into something of a more vibrant and uplifting energy. You know, throughout the winter, we've been in the period of hibernation. And as we step into spring, it's about allowing ourselves to come out once more. You know, really connect with ourselves and the world in a way that we can be who we truly are, which is beautiful. But what is also amazing is that during this time, you may have a spring in your step, because this is about stepping into the future and embodying who you are. So as always, I usually start these readings by picking a rune. So we're going to choose a rune to connect with the energies and see what's coming through at the moment. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please be sure to leave them in the comments section, and I'll be sure to get back to you, when I have some available time. But let's choose a rune to begin with. And I hope you can feel these beautiful shifting and changing of energies as we have now moved into spring. And over here in England, we've stepped into British summertime, which is lovely. It's still relatively cold, but slowly warming up as we transition slowly into the summer. But let's first of all look at this rune and see what comes through. Okay. So here we have the rune, which is an absolutely beautiful rune. What I love about runes is, I've mentioned in previous videos, is that they are very much, the first alphabet that was used, by the Scandinavians. And it was used as a divination tool many, many years ago, before anything like tarot or anything like that. But it's absolutely beautiful in its own way. So let's have a look at this rune and see what this rune specifically means. So this rune is pronounced Legus, which is all about flow, renewal, and dreams, which is, again, quite interesting as we step into spring anyway, because it's all about embodying that energy of flow. Flowing with the river as you flow with life. But in order to flow with life, you've got to move with it, progress and evolve. There's no point staying stagnant and feeling as though you're in flow, because we all have to move forward as we grow, evolve, and step into who we truly are. So that's beautiful there. And renewal. I think we're all going through a period of renewal as well. And renewal, you could say, is all about rebirth, but renewing ourselves. I've spoken about this in previous videos, that I really disconnected at the beginning of this year in order to reconnect. I needed some time out to readjust and recapitulate. So this is about coming out once more, stepping into who we are, allowing renewal in our lives to bring about what it is we truly want and desire. And here we have dreams as well. We've always connected to dream state. When you sleep at night, always be sure to honor your dreams and notice what it is they're teaching you or guiding you towards, because that is in many ways your soul calling, or it could be a vision of the future, of how you want to live your life. So it's really important to look at and analyze your dreams as you move forward as well. Okay. So that is a beautiful rune, Legus. So fantastic. So let's look at where we are on our spiritual journey collectively and what it is that we're going through so that we can become the best versions of ourselves throughout April 2023. As I said, if you've got any questions or comments, please be sure to leave them in the comments section below. Okay, so let me have a look to see what is coming through for us. Just going to slowly tune in. And we'll pull this card first, and I will put this to one side. So let's see what this is all about. Soul Awakening. Another absolutely beautiful card. But what's Soul Awakening all about? With regards to this energy of renewal, I think it's all about awakening to new versions of yourself. New versions of yourself and your soul where you're more in alignment. But Soul Awakening is also often noticing aspects of yourself that you may have not noticed before. Because as you awaken, you do start to notice these hidden aspects of yourself and your soul that you haven't allowed yourself to potentially notice before. So it's allowing them to come to surface in a way that you can honor them and bring them into alignment. So bring that shadow into alignment, where you're more connected with your soul and embracing the true beauty of who you are. So Soul Awakening is beautiful. So let's look at the Oracle card booklet and see what I've written here as well, because this is always useful to look at. Soul Awakening can often come as a shake-up in which formerly buried aspects of ourselves suddenly become so evident that they can no longer be ignored. We may find ourselves in moments of crisis in which our souls are yearning for deeper meaning and connection. What once was familiar somehow seems foreign. The unconscious becomes conscious as attributes of your soul are revealed. If you have pulled this card, be honest and transparent with yourself as your shadow is being uncovered. Although this may be uncomfortable, this will allow you to heal and awaken to who you truly are. Very, very beautiful. Beautiful. But yeah, it's awakening in a way that you can go about renewal, renewing in a new version of yourself, allowing it to be expressed outwardly to the world. And most importantly within all of this, honoring who you are as a being, as an incredible, amazing soul, which each and every one of us has to do as well. So there we go, the Soul Awakening. Let me pull some more Oracle cards. Just give them a quick shuffle. And then I'll fan these out and we will see what is coming through to us. Again, as I said, if you've got any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. And I'll be sure to answer any questions that you may have. Pull that card. Call to me straight away. Pull that card. 1, 2, and then a third one, I think, in this batch of cards. Here we go. So, put these in order. Interesting, interesting. So, we'll put all these 3 cards down first of all. And I move them to the side. So they're all laid out nicely. And let's pull them out individually. So this is an interesting spread we've got here today, because I've had a peek of the cards. But the first card is the Caregiver. And the Caregiver is really important. The Caregiver is providing and giving unconditional love and care to others. So it's giving that unconditional love and care to those around you and those in need, because it's essential to love yourself. But what tends to happen when you're in the lower stages and phases of consciousness is you give love and care to others without honouring yourself. And it's really, really important for you to honour yourself and care for yourself in the process. So as you think about the caregiver, you need to think about the beautiful giving and receiving in love as you care for yourself, giving and receiving in care. Because what tends to happen is you can overgive, overexpress, and you burn yourself out. I know there are so many people that are natural caregivers, and we give our energy so freely to others, which is absolutely beautiful. That's something that you should respect about yourself and love about yourself as well, that you do that. But what is also essential here is that you need to honour yourself in the process. How much are you giving, and how much do you need to take in a way that you are honouring your own energy and not giving too much of your energy away? Because you need to empower yourself in the process. And for me, this is what the caregiver is all about from an awakened perspective, because we're raising our consciousness and awareness, coming from a place of higher consciousness with the caregiver, who collectively gives love, care and support to those around them and to people in need, which is absolutely, again, beautiful and important. But again, within all of this, you have to honour yourself. If you're not honouring yourself, again, you're going to be burning yourself out. So it's essential for you to become that awakened caregiver, where you care for others as much as you care for yourself. It's a beautiful, beautiful card. And again, what I'm going to do is read from the booklet and, share with you what this beautiful caregiver means from what is written in the Oracle card booklet here. So, the archetypal caregiver. The caregiver archetype embodies the energy of the feminine that is within all of us, regardless of gender. In this helper role, we provide unconditional love, often without recognition, to anyone who is in need. The early caregiver often becomes a martyr through self-sacrifice, which I was speaking with you about, enabling or rescuing others. As we evolve, however, the awakened caregiver finds balance through mutual support. We care for others, as well as set healthy boundaries. If you've pulled this card, it may be an invitation to live from your heart and bring tenderness and aid to your community. Alternatively, it may be a time for folks to focus on nurturing yourself in the same way at which you support others. So beautiful, beautiful reading there. Got to care for yourself as well as caring and supporting others. Now this is very, very interesting. So actually what I'll do is I'll pull this card first, because this very much links perfectly to the previous card. Because what we have here is the archetypal warrior, and it's very much the opposite to the caregiver, which the caregiver embodies the energy of the feminine and the warrior embodies the energy of the masculine. So from my perspective, you could see these two cards together and say that April is all about balancing the masculine and feminine aspects within yourself, creating that unity within your mind, your body and your soul, but allowing the warrior to come through, so that you're not becoming a martyr to those situations in your life, but you're honouring who you are, honouring your energy, and being the hero or heroine in your own life. So what is the warrior? Let's just dive into that in more detail. So the warrior, as I've already mentioned, is that masculine energy. The masculine energy is always pushing forward and driving towards what it is that they want to create in their lives. You know, they've got that masculine drive, which is, again, beautiful. And each and every one of us has to have that drive, has to have that motivation, has to have that inspiration in order to move forward. So you've got to allow that masculine energy to come through in a beautiful way where you can stand in your power and your light. You know, we are all warriors in our own right. But more importantly, warriors of the heart. It's not about suppressing and repressing others or feeling as though you're better than them. It's about honoring your own light, as I mentioned, but standing in your own power and saying, this is who I am, but utilizing your power for good intentions, for making that difference. Okay? So that is what the warrior is all about. And again, we're going to jump into the reading and have a look at the Oracle card booklet here and see what was written about the warrior. So the warrior archetype embodies the energy of the masculine within all of us, regardless of gender. It calls us to have courage, strength, and integrity as we live by the values of our soul. The earlier warrior operates from the shadow of conditioning and is often reckless, aggressive, and excessively guarded. As we evolve, the awakened warrior engages in altruistic battles of service and protection. If you've pulled this card, it's an invitation to utilize your power wisely. Fight for a cause you believe in, or serve others in need. Alternatively, it may be a time to take your suit of armour off as you allow your emotions to flow from within. And again, you could say, that blends very well with the caregiver there. But that suit of armour is really, really interesting, because if we're heavily dominant in the masculine energy and in the warrior, we can put that suit of armour on to protect ourselves, which is important in a way. But you don't want to protect yourself in a way that you're not allowing yourself to honour your emotions and feelings, because there is true strength in vulnerability. And this is where the power of the warrior really comes into play, because as you take that suit of armour off, or you lower that shield, you allow your vulnerable self to shine through. But that vulnerability becomes that great strength as you stand in your power, But you have to honour the warrior within, which is that power and strength of your character in knowing who you are as an individual and living from that place. Whilst at the same time, you've got to bring in the energy of the caregiver as well. So that awakened warrior becomes that awakened caregiver, because in a way they work in synergy. They do work in synergy. So allow the warrior and the caregiver to both come into play as they rise together. Okay, so beautiful, beautiful reading so far as we look at the soul awakening, because you could say it's awakening to both those masculine and feminine aspects, and noticing, what needs more balance and harmony as you honor both aspects within yourself. So that's really beautiful and an incredible reading so far. Finally, we have the rabbit. And the spirit animal of the rabbit is all about honoring your fears. As I've written in the booklet, which we'll read in a moment, we tend to, or rabbits tend to, when we see them out in nature, they tend to run, for they have fear and they're frightened of us. But when we slowly approach them, they tend to adapt to our presence. And from my perspective, this is what the rabbit is all about. This is all about you acknowledging your fears and adapting to them. So they are present in your awareness, but you allow yourself to, in some ways, go with the flow of what fear may be presented to you at a certain time. But in a way, you've got that warrior to help push through those fears and what they might be. But the important thing with all of these things is that you don't deny these fears and these doubts, is that you honor them for what they are, as you allow yourself to release them. Because for me, this is what the rabbit is teaching. It's teaching you to honour your fears, acknowledge them, but more move forward as you can push through them. Susan Jeffers, an amazing teacher, always used to say, feel the fear and do it anyway. So feel that fear and do it anyway. Push through it and overcome those boundaries and obstacles that are placed on your path, and know that you can overcome whatever challenges that you may be facing. And as you do so, you can bring that renewal back into your life, which again is really, really important as we look at the energies of April 2022. Okay, so let me again read from this beautiful Oracle card booklet. And we go to 46. So the spirit animal of the rabbit symbolizes fear and calls you to confront the anxiety that you may feel within. When you spot rabbits out in nature, they tend to freeze and run at first sight. When you move slowly, they begin to adapt to your presence. This is an example of how you can gently welcome your emotions as they arise from your soul. If you have chosen this card, then now is the time for you to confront those suppressed aspects of self instead of denying them. Don't allow them to consume you, but instead notice the power within yourself to overcome any obstacle in your path. Write down the concerns or fears you have and release what no longer serves you. So, a beautiful, beautiful spread there. So as you step into April 2022, acknowledge your masculine and feminine within and allow them to arise as you awaken your soul from within, as you step into who you truly are. In the process of doing that, notice those fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs that you have about yourself. Witness them for what they are, but again allow yourself to push through them so that you can overcome any obstacle on your path. And with that, I will say thank you for listening. I do hope you found this reading to be valuable and useful with regards to connecting with your spiritual journey and soul pathway. If you'd like a personal soul pathway reading, please be sure to check out my website, which you can find within my profile. With that, I will say take care, much love, and I look forward to connecting with you all again soon. Bye for now.